When I first started out in a leadership position as a banking center office manager, I didn't know much about managing people. Instead, I was trained on the intricate details regarding opening and closing a banking center, managing my vault shipments, opening and closing bank accounts, loans, and credit cards, and ensuring that my customer service representatives, otherwise known as bank tellers, balanced every day. It wasn't until later on in my career, after I transitioned into training and development and began teaching soft skills and leadership development courses, that I began to develop my own leadership skills. I can honestly say that those skills were exercised, refined, and honed during the years that I spent as an elected official. It was during this time that I learned how to flex my leadership style to accommodate my constituents, colleagues, and employees. If you're new here, my name is Jennifer Mitchell Early. I help individuals and teams achieve organizational and personal success by providing customized training, resources, tips, and tools to help you pursue purpose and accomplish your goals. If you're looking to grow and evolve personally and professionally, be sure to subscribe and don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified every time I upload new content. Today, we're talking about how to determine and enhance your leadership style. Leadership styles are classifications of how a person behaves while directing, motivating, guiding, and managing groups of people. There are many leadership styles, and most professionals develop their own style of leadership based on factors like experience and personality, as well as the specific needs of a company and its organizational culture. The most common leadership styles include autocratic leadership. This style is also called the authoritarian style of leadership. Autocratic leaders are focused primarily on results and team efficiency. They often make decisions alone or with a small and trusted group and expect employees to do exactly what they're asked. Autocratic leaders typically have self-confidence and are self-motivated. They communicate clearly and consistently, are dependable, and follow the rules. They value highly structured environments and are proponents of supervised work environments. Bureaucratic leadership. Bureaucratic leaders are similar to autocratic leaders in that these leaders expect their team members to follow the rules and procedures precisely as written. The bureaucratic style focuses on fixed duties within a hierarchical system where each employee has a set list of responsibilities and there's little need for collaboration and creativity. This leadership style is most effective in highly regulated industries or in departments like finance, healthcare, or government. Charismatic leadership. Charismatic leaders inspire their followers through their personality, vision, and charm. They have a strong sense of purpose and can motivate others to achieve their goals. Charismatic leaders often have excellent communication skills and can articulate their vision in a way that inspires others to follow them. Coaching leadership. Coaching leadership involves recognizing team members' strengths, weaknesses, and motivations to help each individual improve and achieve success. Coaching leaders are compassionate, self-aware, collaborative, and encouraging, and communicative. They create mentor-mentee relationships with their team members and give constructive feedback. They also address any weaknesses and guide them through goals and obstacles. Democratic leadership. This style is also called the participative style of leadership. Democratic leaders encourage participation from all members of the team in decision-making processes. They value collaboration, teamwork, and open communication. Democratic leaders often have excellent listening skills and can effectively manage conflicts within the team. Laissez-faire leadership. Laissez-faire leaders provide minimal guidance to their team members and allow them to make decisions on their own. This leadership style is most effective when team members are highly skilled and motivated to complete tasks on their own. Transformational leadership. Transformational leaders inspire their followers to achieve more than they thought possible by creating an environment that encourages creativity, innovation, and risk-taking. Transformational leaders often have excellent communication skills and can articulate their vision in a way that inspires others to follow them. And transactional leadership. Transactional leaders focus on achieving specific goals through rewards or punishments for performance. They use incentives like bonuses or promotions to motivate employees to achieve specific goals. Okay, let's see if you can tell which leadership style was used in this case study. Jane is a senior software engineer at a tech company. Jane was assigned to a project that required her to develop a new feature for the company's app. Her manager gave her the general specifications and deadline, but did not interfere with her work process or micromanage her tasks. Jane enjoyed the freedom and flexibility that she was given as she was able to use her creativity and expertise to design and implement the feature in the best way possible. She also collaborated effectively with her peers, who were also given a lot of autonomy and responsibility. Jane completed the project on time and with high quality, exceeding her manager's expectations. She felt satisfied and empowered by her work and appreciated the trust and respect that her manager showed her. What type of leadership style allowed Jane to flourish and do her best work? Was it autocratic, bureaucratic, charismatic, coaching, democratic, laissez-faire, transformational, or transactional? If you said laissez-faire leadership, you're correct. Laissez-faire leadership is a style of management that gives employees a high degree of autonomy and independence. It allows them to make their own decisions, set their own goals, and work at their own pace. It provides minimal guidance and supervision, trusting employees to be self-motivated and competent. If you like what you're hearing so far, make sure to hit the like button and tell me about your leadership style in the comment section below. All right, let's get back to it. Now that we know some of the most common leadership styles, how do you determine your leadership style? Whether you're a current leader, an aspiring leader, or a project or team lead, we all have to wrestle with leadership roles at some point. Eventually, we will be in the position of rallying a group of people to come together for a common cause, to pursue a path forward, or to find a solution to a problem. As we see from the various leadership styles, there are many different ways to lead a group, and you should find the leadership style that best fits you and the goals you're trying to achieve. Determining your leadership style can be a valuable experience in your understanding of your strengths and weaknesses as a leader. You can develop your personal leadership style at any point in your career by cultivating self-awareness. The process of finding a style will look different for everyone, but the Harvard Business School online article by Emily Ostermeyer offers the following 4 tips for developing your personal leadership style that is true to you. 1. Imitation is the enemy. Before you move into your first leadership position, you may have assumptions of what a leader should look, sound, and act like. Not every great leader has a style of Steve Jobs or Sheryl Sandberg. In fact, no two leadership methods are the same. When you do step into that ring, and even before, the work of leadership requires flexing different qualities depending on the context and situation. When you notice you're starting to imitate the style of your idol, throw that archetype out the window. The work of developing your own style doesn't start outside the self, it starts from within. 2. Know your strengths and weaknesses. Think about the qualities that come naturally to you. Then ask yourself, where do you struggle? Maybe you're a fast learner and great at getting things done, but sometimes sacrifice quality for quantity. Or you could be confident in the work you create on your own, but when you get into the conference room, you struggle to speak up about your contributions. The habits you make as an individual contributor may be your default when you first step into a leadership position. But becoming a great leader means working on yourself so that you can support and develop others, and that requires a different kind of work. Getting honest with yourself and your qualities is an essential step. 3, understand the influence of bias. This is a big one. Developing your leadership style means understanding that certain aspects of your approach may cause others to interpret your behavior through the distortion of subconscious biases. This can be affected by factors such as gender, race, and nationality. Mia Min, CEO at Inspire and Sodexo, Benefits and Reward Services USA, and a featured protagonist in Leadership Principles, prides herself on her warmth and openness. Minda says she struggled with feedback about her leadership style being perceived as intimidating by some of her employees. Women who are smart and women of color who are smart are perceived to be intimidating, Minda says. That's unfortunate because I think if I were a white male, I'd just be smart. I can definitely relate to this sentiment, and I have a video on it that I'll link here or somewhere in the description below. This reality is supported by research. Women who demonstrate high competence can often be perceived as less approachable. Similarly, female leaders who shine with warmth and approachability may be seen as less competent. However you identify, these sticky biases lead to the question, what's a bold, warm leader left to do when she aspires to lead her team authentically? 4, be brave. Just as the research reads clearly on the reality of bias, it also shows that subconscious attitudes can be counteracted when others are exposed firsthand to performance track records. You can work to be more aware of how others' impressions of you may differ from what you think you are communicating. Similarly, acknowledge your own potential biases or perceptions and how they may be affecting your judgment of others. This self-awareness and honest reflection is the work of a confident leader, and confidence is one thing every leadership style should possess. In the book, The Confidence Code, authors Katty Kay and Claire Shipman explain the importance of authentic leadership. Confidence isn't about pretending or putting on an act. It springs from genuine accomplishment and work, Kay and Shipman write. This advice applies to anyone looking to develop their personal leadership style. Stop pretending and take action. Kay and Shipman recommend taking bravery one step at a time, doing a small, brave thing until the next one is easier. Eventually, confidence will flow. In those brave moments, your strengths will shine and your weaknesses will be developed, and you'll find the qualities that make you a leader are more obvious than you think. Now that you know where to start the internal work of defining your leadership style, let's circle back to the leadership styles that we discussed earlier. Aside from taking a formal leadership style test or assessment, here are some questions to ask yourself to determine which leadership style resonates most with you. What are your core values? Your core values are the principles that guide your behavior and decision making. They can help you identify the leadership style that aligns with your beliefs and goals. What are your strengths and weaknesses? Understanding your strengths and weaknesses can help you identify the leadership style that best suits your personality and skills. What is your communication style? Your communication style can influence how you interact with your team and how they perceive you as a leader. Identifying your communication style can help you choose a leadership style that complements your strengths. What motivates you? Understanding what motivates you can help you identify the leadership style that will keep you engaged and energized. And what is your vision for your team? Your vision for your team can help you identify the leadership style that will help you achieve your goals and create a positive work environment. Having answered these questions, which style do you align with the most? I'd like for you to give it some thought and write that style down on a piece of paper for us to revisit at the conclusion of this video. It's important to keep in mind that a leadership style is a way a person approaches giving direction, implementing goals, and inspiring and motivating individuals to take action towards those goals. While you may align more closely with one style, your style can change depending on the situation, personal growth, and professional development. Just as you'd set goals for your team, you should also establish goals for yourself when it comes to improving as a leader. For example, if you want to improve your ability to be more aspirational, make it a point to spend more time doing so and get feedback from your team as to how your approach has impacted their development or work. Austin Suellenthorpe, author of the Gallup.com article, Leadership Authenticity Starts with Knowing Yourself, described his obsession as an emerging leader with improving his leadership skills and becoming an authentic leader. He soon learned that the best leaders don't strive to fix their weaknesses or duplicate other leaders' successes. It was only when he zeroed in on his unique strengths, what he did best, that he realized off-the-chart leadership improvement. He used a simple example to illustrate the point that I found to be true for myself as well. As a young minister in the church, my leadership role models were preachers who excelled at oratory delivery or preaching. For a time, when I was first starting out and in seminary, I tried to emulate their approach. I used the same outline, content template, and speaking cadence when delivering sermons or teachings of my own, but I still felt my delivery fell short. It wasn't until one day when I was in the preaching practicum, a class solely about delivering sermons, where I had to go behind someone else who just overwhelmed my entire class, such that folks were standing on their feet, clapping and yelling, "Yes, amen, you better preach," with other preachers who were professors coming from other parts of the building to hear her finish. It was in that moment that I wanted the floor to open up and just swallow me whole, right? But still, I had to get up and deliver my sermon. In that moment, I accepted that everything that I needed was already in me, and I had to be true to myself and deliver it my way. I realized my greatest way of communicating isn't mimicking other people's style or even scripting out 3 points. It's speaking from the heart. From that day on, when I started sharing what I believed in, my core values, and how they connected to the topic at hand, my authentic strength and passion was empowered and I flourished. In other words, I learned that when I lean into what I do well, my specific talents, that's when results appear. I'm a better leader when I tap into my strengths. In fact, I found it's the best way to authentically inspire others. I come to every interaction open, transparent, honest, passionate, and confident in my abilities and those of my team. Decades of Gallup research show that when leaders focus on their strengths, the unique talent themes that set them apart, they see improvements in their performance and in that of their employees, including employee engagement, retention, and productivity. Further, focusing on what you do well boosts your confidence as a leader and helps you make better decisions. It helps you become a better role model who motivates others to be their best selves. Now, let's go back to the paper with your leadership style written on it, ask yourself these follow-up questions. What do I value more, goals or relationships? Do I believe in structure or freedom of choice? Would I rather make a decision on my own or collectively? Do I focus on short or long-term goals? Does my motivation come from empowerment or direction? And what does a healthy team dynamic look like to me? Compare your answers to the leadership styles again. Have your answers led you to another leadership style? Perhaps one that doesn't align with your current leadership style, but rather the leadership style that you aspire to? Identifying and refining your personal leadership style is a process. By understanding common approaches to leadership, practicing self-assessment, and gathering feedback from colleagues, you can heighten your self-awareness and build a foundation upon which you can continue to learn and grow. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.